Hey everyone, this is J-Dog, and I'm here with another video. Man, this guy has to look stupid. This is Paulie. Alright, this is a former boxer and former boxer analyst who was fired for Showtime for his racist remarks towards black fighters. He came up with this myth that Eastern European fighters were dominating the sport. This came after the fight with Tyson Fury, who is not an Eastern European. He's a British fighter, which is Western Europe, cheated against Deontay Wilder. That's why Deontay Wilder did not want him on commentary. I'm talking about Paulie Maldonado. So, there's been a number of fights recently that European fighters were involved with that they kept losing, destroying his myth that Eastern Europeans were winning, were dominating the sport. Paulie Maldonado said that, like I said earlier, that Eastern Europeans were dominating the sport, that they were white and blah blah blah. But recently, you had someone by the name of Lomachenko lost his fight for with the WBC middleweight title against a black American fighter by the name of Jamal Charlo. Then just this recently, American Hispanic fighter by the way of Teofimo Lopez defeated Paulie Lomachenko, or should I call him Paulie Lomachenko. That's this guy right here. This racist Ukrainian fighter. Karma came to this racist bastard, Paulie Lomachenko, and karma also came back to Paulie Maldonado. So let's see. Why am I happy that this guy lost his fight this past week? Well, lost recently. Why I'm happy that this fighter lost? Well, this guy did the racist thing of mocking Adonis Steven when he was put in a coma by one of his fellow Ukrainian countrymen that was fighting. I forgot what his name was, but he eventually ended up losing to a Russian fighter, which is another Eastern European. But Paulie Lomachenko took the belt that other Ukraine fighter and decided to remove Adonis Stevenson's face off the title because that was supposed to have been a badge of honor. And they did that while Adonis Stevens, this was a black Canadian fighter, was hurt so bad that he ended up in a coma and had to rush to an immediate emergency room. I think Adonis Stevenson maybe had retired because of the terrible situation. But this guy was racist, mocked Adonis Stevens, and just removed the belt of his face off the belt, because when you put a fighter's face on the belts, it's supposed to honor the past champions. And now karma came to Paulie Lomachenko, this guy right here, and he loses to a fighter by the name of Teofimo Lopez, a Hispanic American fighter. But the karma also goes on Paulie Maldonado. Paulie Malignaggi was mocking and attacking, black fighters and saying that Eastern Europeans were coming in to dominate the sport, but it looks like that's not happening. Paulie Malignaggi was attacking black fighters, Hispanic fighters, but specifically black fighters. When this is despite the fact that majority of the championships, majority of the top contenders are either black or Hispanic. Yes, you have some white European fighters, but it's not enough that they're dominating the entire sport. But that's what Paulie Malignaggi was thinking, because he knows that the racist white Americans who hate black fighters are mad that there's not a great white America hope in the sport of boxing. They don't even cheer for the white American champion that is in the sport of boxing, and that's Caleb Plant, which he's actually a pretty good fighter. I actually like Caleb Plant. But notice that the racists don't even cheer. That could have been their great white hope. Oh, that's right, because there's no proof that Caleb Plant may not be anti-black like the racists want him to be, because he does have a black fan face and he has not said anything negative about black people. I'm talking about Caleb Plant. See, when they think of a great white hope, they're thinking a white fighter who they can use to rub into the face of black people and use him to disrespect black fighters. Now, your Paulie Malignaggi was going around saying that Eastern Europeans were the dominant fighters, but in the past couple of months, majority of the Eastern European fighters have been losing their matches to either a black or Hispanic fighter, or even a Western European fighter, a British fighter, or any other Western European fighter, or each other. That's what's been happening, and most of the belts, like I said, are going to either some of the Asians, like the Japanese and Filipino fighters. Some of the belts are to the Hispanics, whether it be Puerto Rican, Mexican, Hispanic American, or they're going to black fighters, whether it be black European, African, or black American fighters. That's what's going on. I even show you the proof of the record of all hold on a second. All right. Right here. Majority of these are the current champions of boxing right now, from different sanctioning bodies and different weight classes. You got British, which are, okay, you have this interim Eastern European, but you have British, which are Western Europeans. You have blacks, another Western European. Yeah, you do have a few, like maybe 3 or 4 Eastern Europeans, but you also have North American black fighters. You have maybe this one white American fighter. You got Mexican fighters and other Hispanic fighters. You have black American fighters like Demetrius Andrade and Jermell Charlo. This is the twin brother of Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, yeah, he's an American black fighter. This is an American black fighter. This is his twin brother. This is another black American fighter. He has a belt. Here's Errol Spence. These are 2 other American black American fighters. This guy is an interim champion. You have 1 Filipino, 1 Cuban, regular super champion. You got another more British, and you got another Hispanic American fighter. Jose Ramirez. I think he's either Mexican or Puerto Rico. I don't know. You have another black American fighter. Another with the regular belt, but you have the Hispanic American fighter. This is the guy who beat Vasily Lomachenko. This is two other Mexicans, another Black American fighter. I think he's Hispanic, but is basically he's American, but he's Hispanic. This is another interim Black American fighter, another Hispanic regular champion. This is the same fighter up here, but he's trying to get one of these belts because he's supposed to face this guy, Javante. Another British fighter. I don't know I think this country is in Asia, so that's not Eastern European, maybe Eurasia. Another Mexican fighter. Now, I think this is an American, either American white or American Hispanic. I think this one's another white American. This is France, is once again Western European. I'm not gonna do this whole list, but I barely see. Now okay, this is a Brazilian fighter. I only see like maybe 5 or 6 Eastern European champions out of a number of Black and Hispanic fighters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of, you got Anthony Joshua. He's a Black British fighter of Nigerian descent. But, yeah, he's European, but he's Black. He's a Black British fighter. He resides in British, but he's a Nigerian descendant who resides in Britain. Yeah, so only 5 Eastern Europeans. And then for Black Americans, you have Black Americans 1, 2, 3, 4, if you count the regular champion, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you count Javante Terry as a regular champion, 9, 10 Black American, maybe 11 or 12 if you count interim Chris Colbert. 11 or 12 if you also count Jamal James. That's 11, 12 interim, regular, or super champions, or undisputed or unified Black American champions. So who do you think is dominating the sport? The 5 lucky Eastern Europeans, or the 12 Black American champions? And Black American top contenders like Deontay Wilder, who also, he's a top contender. Then you have other Black champions like Ugas Hernandez Ugas. He's a Black Hispanic because he's from Cuba. He's also his Black Hispanic. That's a regular champion. So that's for Black fight, and this is a biracial. Sorry about that. That's a phone call. They trying to, do robocalls for voting. Yeah, I apologize for that. That's them demon rats trying to call here, trying to get me a vote. But anyway, you have this biracial. Well, he looks Black. He's Black. He's considered Black, but he's a Black British fighter. Even though they say he's biracial, but you could tell by his appearance, they're gonna see him as Black. But this is Black British fighter Chris Eubanks. He's the interim champion for the middleweight, and then you have the Asian regular champion, and then of course you have Canelo Alvarez, who is the true super champion for the WBA, for the WBA's middleweight division and stuff like that. But like I said, so you got mostly Western British fighters, Hispanics, and black fighters mostly have the title belts. But idiot here, Paul Maldonado, said that Eastern Europeans were dominating the sport, but they're losing their fights. No, he said all that was because he's a racist. I think he's this Italian descendant. He was acting racist. He wanted to attack any non-white fighters because he was tired of non-white fighters, and particularly black fighters, dominating the sport of boxing. So he was rubbing it in his face, rubbing it in the face of black people, and even he was attacking the Hispanics too. But I'm mostly concerned about the black community. So he was attacking the black community, and his theory ended up becoming a false theory. His theory is now being debunked because this guy lost his fight recently, and this is also karma for his shenanigans, like what he did, how he mocked Adonis Stevens, who nearly almost died after his fight. But that's all I have to say. Karma came to both Lomachenko and Paulie Maldonado. But that's all I have to say about this. I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. Write down in the comment section what you think. Make sure you share this video. If any trolls show up, well, your comment is going to be deleted and you will be blocked. Now, if anywhere else is following the rules but your comment is still being deleted, it is mostly because YouTube is deleting comments because they don't like it, because they think it's a violation of the community guidelines. So be careful how you write comments in the comment section. Write it in a way where it doesn't get hidden or deleted. If you have to rearrange some words or use symbols to disguise certain words, do so. Because like I said, YouTube is cracking down on people's comments. Make sure you share the video, like the video. The liking the video helps with the notifications. It also helps spread the video around. So yeah, remember to hit that like button, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, that also helps with notifications. If you haven't been subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification. If you unfortunately, accidentally, or purposely got unsubscribed, and it's not by what you've done, then once again, resubscribe and hit that notification to see if you can also get notifications that way. I'll also leave links to my different accounts for you to follow me whenever I do videos or posts, YouTube, Black Junction, Twitter, etc. But that's all I have to say about this. This is J-Dog. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another video. Peace, everyone.